Hey y'all, welcome to Night Combos. It's Lovey here. Hubby's on his way home from work, so it's just me, but hopefully y'all still enjoy the video. But y'all, I wanted to talk about how Gypsy's, quote, inmate friends are now speaking out on her since she felt the need to speak out on them on a Netflix series. I know a lot of y'all may have already seen the video or pieces of the video that Gypsy posted where she was posting about and talking about some of the inmates that she claims that she was incarcerated with. But I wanted us to take a look back at that and what some of those inmates and some other inmates that have been incarcerated with her have to say about what she was saying on her video. And also, y'all know I'm going to give my opinions on what Gypsy is saying in her video. So let's get into it. But first, thank you so much to all of our subscribers. We truly appreciate every single one of y'all. We see some of y'all where y'all comment, and believe us, we remember y'all from 6-7 months ago when we very first started, and we still see y'all commenting on our videos today, and that means so very much to us. And it means so much to us that our family here on YouTube has continued to grow. And we say our family, and when we say that, we're not talking about just hubby and I's family, we're talking about all of y'all too. Like our family. We're one big family here, or one little family here, whatever. But we're one family here. And we truly appreciate all of you, and we appreciate all of our new subscribers. Welcome to all of you. We are so happy to have you be a part of our family and channel here. Also, I need to let y'all know the part 1 of the parole video that we were doing, the parole update that we were doing, we separated it into 2 parts, part 1 and part 2, because part 1 is finished. It should be loading and getting posted up soon, or, I mean, not posted up soon, not by us, but you know what I mean. Like, it should be up soon for y'all. Like, we finished it, so it should be up for y'all soon, just to let y'all know. We posted about it on our community page, so y'all can go over there and read that if you want to. We also let y'all know a few other things about tonight's episode and all of that as well over there on our community page. We made a post, or I made a post earlier today while hubby was at work. If you're not already though, please make sure you subscribe, like, share, hit the notification bell so that you don't miss any of our videos. Please leave your thoughts and opinions in the comment section down below. We cannot wait to conversate with all of you about this. We do go back to our old videos from where people have recently watched them, and we do reply. So we do try to reply to everyone as much as we can. So if we don't reply right away, don't take it personally. It's just that we haven't had a chance yet, because we do go back to old videos and comment to people who have recently watched them as well. But we really can't wait to see what y'all have to say about this. So let's jump in. Real quick, y'all, I want to touch back on this right here, this situation right here about the baby and her face going around all over social media. A lot of people are saying, oh no, that's just AI. Even, of course, Gypsy is saying, oh no, that's just AI. It's photoshopped, yada yada. But how many of us have heard Gypsy Rose Blanchard say and claim that this is photoshopped or that's photoshopped? We've heard it ever since she came out of prison from Nadatha, who is in prison with her, who shared a cell with Gypsy, which we're going to get into that too in this video in just a second. But we've all seen it, and it was where Nadatha had simply tried to reach out to Gypsy when she got out of prison, because Nadatha can do that. She's not on parole or anything like that. And it doesn't affect Gypsy's parole to reach out to Nadatha. So Nadatha reached out, tried to say, hey, hope you're doing good, all of that. We showed that message months ago when it first came out. Then Gypsy tried to message Nadatha back saying, I'm not going to message you back to give you more information to make videos about me on, so I'm not going to talk to you anymore. It was something like that. That's not verbatim, obviously, but it was something like that. It was Gypsy Rose Blanchard obviously being very rude and mean, but whatever. So Nadatha seen what kind of person Gypsy was very quickly and how she had not changed and was done with Gypsy at that point. But Gypsy claimed, and then had Bree, her BFF, claim that all of that was photoshopped. It was all fake. Even the reply from Gypsy was, quote, photoshopped, if you ask Gypsy or Bree. But in last week's episode of the show, Gypsy literally said she wanted Bree to release the messages that Ryan had sent to Gypsy of him saying, oh, I like that you dyed your hair back brown. I like you as a brunette. I've always thought you were very beautiful with your natural hair color. And that's basically all Ryan said. And Gypsy said in the episode, I didn't want to release the messages because I didn't want to look like I was trying to get at Ryan or be mean to Ryan. So I told Bree to release them. Well, hello, ding dong. That's mean either way. You should have never even released them to Bree to release. They did not need to be released to the public, period. So then after that, Ryan was done with her, and then Gypsy couldn't understand why Ryan didn't want to meet up with her after their divorce hearing. Hello? Y'all, it's a mess. Anyway, y'all check this clip out right here. This is from Lauren Cherie on TikTok.
There's a picture of Gypsy Rose's baby going around where you can see her face. And I just want to say, once again, this photo is legit because I know the person that removed the sticker, and I can show you exactly how she did it.
Let me just say real quick, you know how the baby just now looked asleep in that picture? Well, Gypsy had a comment out and said, that's now been deleted, of course, that the baby was actually sleeping when she met the Easter Bunny for the first time. So the pictures came out so cute because the baby was actually sleeping in the Easter Bunny's lap. And it looks like baby Aurora was still sleeping or maybe just waking up when Gypsy was holding her just now. So keep that in mind.
Here's a photo of my friend Amanda. I've tagged her below with her granddaughter. Now look how she's removing the heart, and it's fading. And look here, it's completely gone. She removed the sticker of the picture GRB had already posted. So you guys, GRB can claim it's not real, it's AI, it's Photoshop, all she wants, but she knows. I am remaking this because she is still clapping back. But she's even sent in messages that she could seek legal action, but she won't. So that right there is admitting it. Guys, it is legit. And let me remind you, on a live stream, she practically showed the baby's face. I'm going to upload that tomorrow, as well as Ryan possibly getting into the mix and having some things to say. I'm also going to upload that video, so look out for that. But yes, legit. I can confidently say it is legit.
Okay, y'all look at the messages between Amanda, the girl who removed the sticker emoji off of baby Aurora's face, and Gypsy, because this kind of ties into what we're talking about and how manipulative Gypsy is and how you have to pay close attention to everything she says and does. Gypsy messaged Amanda first, by the way, so I'll give y'all my opinions, but y'all have to let us know what yours is. So there's no music behind this or anything like that. It's just a video of the messages. But for those of you who may not be able to see it, it starts out with Gypsy saying something public that what you did is wrong, because even if there are some that don't agree with me, my lifestyle, or just generally don't like me, that putting an innocent child at risk is just not acceptable. Everyone from small creators to big disagrees with what you did. I take comfort in knowing that it's not her actual face. Y'all keep that in mind, that Gypsy claims this isn't her actual face, isn't baby Aurora's actual face. I can clearly tell that you used AI to create just a face to put on her head. However, I know what you are trying to do, and I don't appreciate it. In some states, there are laws that I could press charges against you, but I won't. Well, how could you press charges against her if it's not really baby Aurora's face, number one? But also, y'all, if Gypsy is so worried about her own child being at risk, as she claims, why does she post her face all over social media? And Gypsy herself, we know, has posted baby Aurora's actual face all over social media. But if she's in such danger, why wouldn't you press charges? That makes no sense. It's kind of like it's because you know you can't, Gypsy. And then Gypsy goes on to say, I'm sure the public backlash is more than enough to show you that you don't. Hold on. Okay, so this is the beginning of it. Hello, Amanda. I'm sure you can imagine why I am reaching out. I hope you now understand from the reaction of the majority of the public that what you did is wrong, because even if there are some that don't agree with me, my lifestyle, or generally don't like me, that putting an innocent child at risk is just not acceptable. And then it goes on with what I just now read. And excuse me, y'all. And then it says, I'm sure the public backlash is more than enough to show you that you don't bring children into the mix of drama. As a mother who loves her child, I think anyone would agree. Shame on you. Do better as a human being. Gypsy Rose Blanchard, why don't you do better as a human being? And then it shows Amanda with a laughing face. It says story unavailable, which means Gypsy must have erased it. But then it shows Amanda sending Gypsy a laughing face. Amanda replies, Gyp, no one is out here trying to harm baby Aurora. She's actually cute, to be honest, and she is. No charges can be made against anyone because the pic was posted publicly. Exactly. The other pics I have no control over. I mean, the world wouldn't dislike you if you would just own up to your wrongdoing. I mean, all the interrogations, the pictures, the reports. I'm adding this part in, y'all. The FOIAs. I mean, we the people see right through you. Plus, when something is a proven fact, you like to do damage control to make it look like it's BS. Like Gypsy saying, oh, that was photoshopped. Why would Gypsy be so worried about messaging this person if it's AI, number one, or two, if it's photoshopped, which is the two excuses that Gypsy has used so far? Then Amanda says, follow Ken's advice and stop with the drama. Oh, I see your show doesn't have good ratings. By the way, I never said you was a bad mom, but the baby does look like your mother. And y'all, if you see a picture of Dee Dee as a baby next to baby Aurora, you can tell, most certainly, yes, They really do look exactly alike. Baby Aurora looks exactly like baby Dee Dee, which in turn also makes baby Aurora look a lot like baby Ryan. I didn't mean to say baby Ryan, but looks like Ryan. Seriously. And then Amanda says, I wish you luck in your near future because Lord knows what it has in store for you. I pray for you, but most importantly, I pray for baby Aurora. She will know the truth one day. I have never been a fan of yours either. I knew from day one you wasn't abused, but the truth will come out and has, and remember, the truth will set you free. So that's what Amanda says back to Gypsy. And it could have been left at that, but not for Gypsy because we all know Gypsy loves the drama. So Gypsy writes, that is my issue. What does the case have anything to do with removing the emoji? Nothing. You try and deflect your actions by using my past. Gypsy, where'd you learn that word reflection? Because everybody literally uses it towards you. Because that's all you ever do is reflect. Or deflect, rather, y'all. I apologize. It's getting a little late. Hubby got home. We had to pause. We had to get the episode together, episode 8, which we found out that tonight's episode is not the last episode. There's going to be another episode. Next week's episode is going to be where Gypsy's water breaks. Anyway, that's besides the point. But we had to get that together and all of that. And then I had to come back to this video and get it together and edit it and all that. So I truly apologize. But Gypsy, where did you learn the word deflect? Because that's all you ever do is deflect from everything that you're doing, all of your lies, everything in the FOIAs that's coming out, you deflect from them? Yeah, you deflect from your actions and your past, Gypsy. That is called, and Gypsy's trying to tell Amanda, that is called gaslighting. Well, you would know gaslighting, Queen Gypsy. My past in the rear view. But what I don't understand is who are you to say that this is justified? It's sad, and everyone agrees that it was not your place to try and put her image out there. And correction, the image was posted publicly with the emoji. So don't use it was posted publicly because you altered it. Okay, no, Gypsy, remember, you posted your own baby publicly. You posted her publicly. You did, Gypsy, you. That's what Amanda's talking about. She's not talking about the picture you posted with the heart sticker over baby Aurora's face. She's talking about a baby Aurora's actual face that you posted publicly. Anyway, Gypsy's trying to say everyone agrees. No, Gypsy, not everyone agrees with everything you say all the time. But everyone agrees that it was not your place to try and put the image out there. And correction, the image was posted publicly with the emoji. So don't use it was posted publicly because you altered it. Okay. Let's pretend, even if Amanda did alter the picture, which she did not, but even if she did, you're sitting here admitting, Gypsy, that you posted baby Aurora publicly. By not saying that you didn't. You're just simply blaming her, gaslighting her for posting baby Aurora publicly. The irony, y'all, the irony. I stay on the topic at hand and don't stray from the issue. You clearly have a negative attitude towards me. Fine. Regardless, you attempted to exploit someone else's child. And the whole world sees it that way. No, Gypsy, the whole world doesn't see it the way you see it. That's just like the whole world doesn't see you unaliving your mom the way you see it. Because we all see the truth and know the truth behind you unaliving your mom. So there you go. Then Gypsy says, and I'm gonna tag you in every video that people speak about it. Well, tag away because we're already showing Amanda's messages. And Amanda don't care. But Amanda writes back, Gypsy, honey, anything you post on the web the public sees. You are what attention, this is what you thrive on. I think Amanda's trying to say, you want attention. This is what you thrive on, because a Gypsy does want attention, and she does thrive on it. I'm not gaslighting anyone, so you can't manipulate me like you do others. Your past is the reason you're in the public eye. Did you forget? No one is out to harm baby Aurora. We just state facts when it comes to you, and you can tag me in anything you want, sweet girl, because you know why our big girl panties. I think Amanda's trying to say, you know why? Because I wear big girl panties, so it doesn't hurt me. Everyone has an opinion. They're like a-holes. Everyone has one. You're not trying to better yourself either. You do a whole lot of lying and mind games if you want the truth. Again, I know what I did. I erased the heart off of Aurora's face. No Photoshop. I mean, she's beautiful. If it wasn't her, you wouldn't be trying so hard to shut it down. What you should have done was say, well, she's out there and everyone says she's adorable, and take that as a compliment and move on. See, when you try so hard to shut people up, they know you're lying. You need a good counselor and a therapist. And then, sorry y'all, and then Amanda says again, I wish you well in the near future. And it ends there. The messages between the two end there. So the gaslighting and the lying and all of that coming from Gypsy is what pisses everybody off. Like the inmates she was talking about in that video clip. So let's take a look at that. So to reiterate real fast, this is the AI picture that's going around of baby Aurora that is not real. And this is the picture that Amanda and Lauren Cherie were referring to that had the pink heart emoji over it that was removed. And you can see here, just like Gypsy said, baby Aurora was asleep while sitting with the Easter Bunny, and was asleep and just waking up right after seeing the Easter Bunny. And this was when her and Ken were holding baby Aurora together in a picture right after seeing the Easter Bunny. And you can see that baby Aurora's eyes are still closed, and it looks like her right eye, which looks like her left eye on the screen, but it's actually her right eye, seems to be opening up just a little bit. So y'all can see the huge difference in the AI picture versus the real picture. And again, why would Gypsy be so concerned unless this really was baby Aurora? Okay, here's the clip where Gypsy decides she's going to give her opinions, or as she writes at the bottom, her short stories and opinions about a few of Chillicothe's most notable inmates. You'll see where hubby and I were having thoughts as we were recording this, and I was writing on the screen, but I'll kind of read that out loud to y'all, or try to. I don't want to have to pause throughout the video just to read the thoughts to y'all, but if it's something big, I'll pause to let y'all know what we were saying during that moment of the video. But Gypsy has now taken this off of her TikTok. I wonder why. Y'all let us know what y'all think in the comments.
Lifer on this show called I Am a K-Word on Netflix. And I remember, like, Kimberly Duncan, I knew her, kind of, we weren't friends or anything, but she was on my housing unit and my wing a few doors down from me. I'm going to kind of share a couple of stories with each of the women that are on this show. So, Kimberly Duncan, how should I say this? She's just one of those people that's just super negative all the time, and that's really all that I can say about her. So So this is
just like you, Gypsy, how you're negative and hateful and mean and narcissistic and a pathological liar, and I could go on all the time, and how you gaslight people all the time.
This is Gemma Donahue. I personally didn't know her all that well. I probably only met her maybe once. She was one of those girls that was in like the mean girl clique. She was best friends with a woman that I personally did not get along with and had problems with. So she ran with that clique. The clique that kind of like always feels like they're better than everybody else, and, you know, they're hot shit because they're, I don't know, lifers or some shit. So there's a hierarchy in prison, and lifers have like so much clout or whatever, you know.
Like you, Gypsy, how you feel like you're better than everybody all the time and all of that. Y'all take a look at this real quick. We're also gonna listen to, right after this, we're gonna listen to what a couple inmates have to say about Gypsy's opinions. You remember this, don't you, Gyp?
Beautiful in my own way. And if you don't like that, well, then you can just scurry on away. In terms of makeup and hair, I think I'm going to keep this look for a little while and just enjoy my hot girl era.
Thinking you're better than everybody else? Yeah, That's exactly what you portray. Okay, back to what you were saying, Gypsy.
I have not watched her story yet, but I'm just noticing that she is on this show. So. This is Victoria Smith. I really personally don't know her, but she has a pink shirt on. So the pink shirts are, if you're in a program called Beauty for Ashes, which is a Christian-based program, and you complete the program, you get a pink shirt. So I do know that about her. I think she worked for Restorative Justice, which is like a little program that they have in prison, making blankets for charities. I mean, from what I know, you know, she did stuff in prison to better herself, as far as I know. Like I said, I don't have any negative run-ins with her. I really just didn't know her all that well. Okay, so
you could have done that too, Gypsy. You could have done these things to better yourself too and chose not to.
Moved on from the Netflix show, and I actually wanted to talk about a certain case. So, this is 2020. Unpause it. And I was in jail for a year with this woman named Diane Stoddy. And I knew her a lot better than I knew the other women. And I can attest to the fact that, like, I know I'm no one to talk, but I am allowed to have my opinion about the women that I did time with, and she legit is the creepiest woman that I have ever met.
Wow.
She literally is that dead behind the eyes.
What are y'all's thoughts and opinions on that? Gypsy said this woman is literally the creepiest woman. She's gonna go on to say, y'all hear it in just a second, that she's the creepiest woman because her family, you know, took out her family. Gypsy, your mom was your family. That's your mother. That's called a what? Family member. You did the same thing, and you want to talk about how she was dark behind the eyes? You should take a look back at some of your pictures, girly pop, because you look so dark in the eyes, literally. Not just behind them, but your actual eyes look dark and hateful most of the time. You also look dark and hateful behind your eyes as well. And again, you took out one of your family members. Like, you're no better. But you're acting like you're speaking on all these women. You say you're no one to talk. Exactly, you are no one to talk. You should have never posted this video because it seems like you don't know any of these women. You're saying you can have an opinion on the women that you did time with, But every woman that has come up, you've said you didn't know personally. So, how can you have an opinion on them then? Just like you whine about all the time, you say that all of us content creators have our opinions about you. Well, we have our opinions about you because you literally put your whole life out into mainstream media, on TV, and on social media. We don't do that. A lot of us content creators, most every one of us content creators, do not share our personal lives on YouTube or on social media, period, at all. Your minions try to dig it up, but we don't share it willingly. But y'all try to dig it up, but yet you share your life willingly. So therefore, that gives us a right to have an opinion on it.
Her son, her husband, and attempted to her daughter.
Kind of like you, your mom.
Her oldest daughter is her co-conspirator on the crime. And so anyway, my experience with her is, this is one of those women that prison is truly built for. She and her family for no reason, just simply because she was tired of being a wife and a mother. There was no abuse, there was no reason, other than she just felt like it. So, yeah, prison is truly built for people like her. Usually I have a heart for anyone's story. She is not one of them.
Like you did your mom, for no reason other than you were tired of her. And you wanted to go run off and do your own thing, so you harmed her. Yeah. Remember that, Gypsy? You remember? It wasn't a decade and a half ago, which is 15 years, like you think. Matter of fact, it hasn't even been a decade ago. It won't be a decade ago until this June.
So, I can literally attest to the fact that she's super creepy. She has no remorse. She doesn't take accountability.
You have no remorse or take accountability. Sorry, y'all.
Prison, her behavior is still very creepy. She doesn't talk very much, and she just literally has no soul. So,
like you.
So this is Alyssa Bustamante. She was, I think, 14, if I'm not mistaken, when she got tried as an adult for having a little girl, and because she felt like it. So she's one of the youngest people that, like, I know that went to prison. She's in Chillicothe Correctional Center, and I didn't know her all that well. Like, I'm trying to find, like, an interview of her instead of, like, all this.
Because you don't know any of these women.
She is that disturbed, still to this day.
Like you.
So what I know of her, she has a lot of girlfriends in prison, because she is cute, you know. She kind of has that Justin Bieber kind of, like, hair flip thing going on. So she used to get a lot of girlfriends.
Were you one of them? Because you seem to like that hairstyle, the way you talk about it.
But her relationships with her girlfriends, they're very, like, toxic, and I would call them, like, the blood schmex cult, because they would be into, like, some vampire shit, and, like, themselves and lick the blood. That would be, like, their thing with her. So Gypsy, I'm sorry. I gotta stop you right there, girly pop. Weren't you the one in a red wig, licking a, as you like to say, a jabber, you know? You know, like the one you literally jabbed your own mom in the back with? And sent it to Nick, trying to turn him on, and it didn't work. It didn't turn him on. So yeah, wasn't that you? Pretty sure it was. Oh, that's, like, what I know about her in prison, to be honest. Other than that, like, I didn't really know her all that well. I knew her girlfriends better than I knew her. And we all know my really good friend Amelia Bird, which I have actively spoke out about our friendship very early on after my release. She's one of my best friends, and I advocated for her support and also for her to get a pardon or clemency. I truly advocate for her. I haven't been able to speak for her since I've been on parole, but I am looking forward to being able to reestablish that friendship in 2 months. I care so much for her. I'm so happy she dumped that crazy bitch Zora. So anyway, she's one of my really good friends, and I truly have a heart for her and everything that she had went through, and I believe that she is one of those people that really just got the raw end of the justice system's shit stick.
So we wrote up here, like Rachel Garlick, she was one of your good friends. She even named her daughter after you. She named her daughter Gypsy after you. Her little girls called you Aunt Gypsy. When Rachel Garlick got released from prison, her husband would bring those little girls up there to see you so you would have someone to visit with on the weekends, because Daddy Rod and Christy sure weren't coming to see you, were they?
And so, yeah, I think if you guys want to support someone, look into her case. I know it's a lot about me because I have actively advocated for her.
You have not actively advocated for her. You made one video about her, which we could pull up, but we're not trying to make this video super long, but we could pull it up, and then you deleted it. You deleted the video. So stop it, Gypsy. Stop. Not to mention, Amelia doesn't want anything to do with you. Matter of fact, Amelia said her feelings about you literally 3 days ago from today, which we're about to show y'all.
So there is a lot of YouTube videos that are tied to me as well.
There's a lot of YouTube videos tied to me as well. Gypsy, do you really not see the irony in everything that you say? Do you not literally see yourself in everything you've said about these women? Everything you've said about these women, you could literally say about yourself. Other than the one woman who you said has actually done work to better herself in prison, knowing she has a life sentence. She's still doing good things to better herself. Amelia Bird knows she has a life sentence and has still done things to better herself in prison and trains dogs and is in that program and in many other programs. Just to name a couple, because we don't know a whole lot about her case. We know a little bit about it. There has been, evidence come out that yes, she was involved with, conspiring with her boyfriend at the time to unalive her parents, which is what her crime was. Just like Gypsy, her crime was getting her boyfriend to unalive her mom, or at least be the fall guy anyway. Except for Gypsy's boyfriend had autism, and Gypsy manipulated him for years and groomed him.
So lastly, I want to talk about this woman. Her name is Tasha Morton, and a lot of you have actually already read about my experience with her. In my book, My Time to Stand, I talk about a bully. This is her, and I'm going to share a few short stories with you guys, really short, about my experience with her. So she was my roommate back in 2018. We were roommates for a couple months. And in that time of being roommates together, she tried to manipulate me against my family or my family against me. She passed Ken's phone number, went into my mail, found Ken's phone number, and passed it around to the entire prison. So a lot of women were calling him, hitting him up to be their trick or try to get money from him. She planted schmazer plates in my best friend's locker to get her sent to the hole. She stole from me multiple times. So in prison, makeup is like a gold mine. They sell certain kinds of makeup on commissary, so they don't sell eyeshadow, but they do sell foundation. So she went in.
That's funny, Gypsy, because you're literally known as a snitch. A snitch to so many prisoners, inmates that are still in prison, and also people that have come out of prison that were in prison with you and have talked about how you are nothing but a snitch and people didn't want anything to do with you because you were such a snitch. Y'all will hear about that in just a second, I promise. We're getting to it.
Into my locker, stole my foundation, then resold it back to me. I bought it and then stole it again. Watered down my shampoo, snitched on me multiple times. She outed me for me actually giving myself a tattoo, so she's the one that snitched me out. So it was all coming to a head when finally, she and I finally got into a verbal altercation.
Y'all listen to this. Y'all gotta hear this. Please let us know your thoughts and opinions on this. Gypsy's fixing to try to talk like she's big and bad now. Remember, she's 4'11", which height ain't got nothing to do with anything in these certain situations, always. But I'm just saying, y'all listen to this.
Where she came up to me and was like, bitch, go on somewhere. And I was like, who you calling bitch? And I sized her up. She sized me up. We got in each other's face. And her best friend had to come split us up. And that was the day that I realized I had a powerful voice.
Gypsy says that she sized this woman up. And then this woman sized Gypsy up. And then this woman's friend came and separated them. And you didn't go to the hole for that, Gypsy? That's funny, because we know you didn't go to the hole ever during your prison sentence. Probably because you were snitching on everybody else. But that's funny how you want to say that you sized her up like you were going to do something. What were you going to do, Gypsy? Literally, you had Bree standing outside of your book signing, along with little short Rogie, standing outside your book signing, running to the police officer saying, oh, so-and-so just showed up. They're going to start trouble. They're going to try to ruin this for Gypsy. They're going to try to do something to Gypsy, when nobody was there to hurt you at all. All they were there to do was to hold up signs and be there as for a vigil in memory of your mother, because you've done nothing but bash her.
That I realized that my size didn't dictate my level of confidence, that I could speak my mind, stick up for myself against a bully. And in prison, you really are, you have to be aggressive in order to be heard. And so all leading up to that point, I was very quiet, very shy, very meek, stuck to myself, would have one or two friends that I would hang out with. Other than that, I would sit alone. I was just a loner. And so from then on, I realized that I could have a voice. And
she says she could have a voice. Yet on last week's episode, not tonight's episode, but last week's episode, she was literally saying, I don't have the balls to, post, Ryan's messages. Bree has the balls for that. Ha ha ha. So I gave the messages to her to post because I didn't want to seem mean and I didn't want to do that. So, but I know Bree has the balls to do it, so that's why I did it. Y'all literally go back and look at the live that we have posted on our channel with the comments going up and everything during the live that she done with Bree while Bree had the flu, by the way, when she was literally doing the live at Gypsy's or at Ken's house with Gypsy with the baby there, and Bree literally had the flu, okay? Instead of saying, hey friend, calling up and saying, hey friend, I can't do the live with you tonight. Sorry, I'm not feeling good. I don't want to get the baby sick in case I have anything. No. Bree selfishly still went to go do the live, but that's a whole nother story. But yeah, you done that to Ryan using Bree because you were too scared to, and you admitted it. Dang.
Speak my truth, speak my mind, and didn't have to cower beneath someone like this. So to recap.
Y'all don't, I swear to goodness, Gypsy, you didn't find a voice. The only thing you found was more lies and how to manipulate people even more in prison.
I was in prison with these women. Doesn't mean that I know them all personally or on a super close level. Some of them I knew more than others, and some of them I had better experiences than others. So thanks for watching so I could share some of my prison stories. So I was...
Okay, y'all look at some of these comments. People were saying that Gypsy was spilling the tea, spilling the prison tea, yada yada. We wrote, this is not tea, people. Laughing emoji. Gypsy is not spilling the tea about anyone or anything because she literally said she didn't even know any of these people except for one. Gypsy, do you really not see the irony in what you're saying, LOL? This comment, not Gypsy Rose telling prison talk to hold her drink, finding your voice and standing up to bullies is so relatable. But remember, Gypsy's censoring all her comments on TikTok where she'll only let people who are praising her get their comments through. But this one says, the 2020 episode with Diane Stade, or however you say that, I'm sorry if I'm pronouncing it wrong, is absolutely a chilling watch. So we wrote, but Gypsy isn't? Like, okay, but Gypsy isn't. She's not a chilling watch. Okay. Yes, Diane is weird book smart, but effing weird and needs serious help along with these other women. And Gypsy don't? All right, if you say so. And this is so ridiculous, y'all. People asking, what is that LED light behind the TV? Where did you get the LED light behind the TV? So y'all, I literally had to reply and say, it's an LED light. Amazon, you're welcome. I had to, y'all. I had to. They were answering themselves in their question. Well, what is that LED light behind your TV? An LED light? Amazon, you're welcome. These people wrote, I love you so much and I seriously don't care what people say, but I've always loved you and I can see from your perspective about your life. Proud of you for staying strong all these years. What? Staying strong from what? Please let us know. This is ridiculous. This person says, this was super interesting. We all appreciate you sharing and so thankful you found your voice through this time. We wrote, LOL, LOL, LOL. She admits she needs Brie. And I just explained that to y'all a second ago. We need all the prison tea podcast. And people are asking, several people asked Gypsy to do a podcast. Please don't. No, thank you. We don't need that. Someone wrote, Millie, talking about Amelia Byrd, absolutely deserves better and should definitely be released and able to live her best life. She did the same crime as Gypsy. And again, there is evidence that has come out because she's been asking for a pardon, Amelia Byrd has, from the governor, but evidence has come out that she was in on this with her boyfriend, unaliving her parents. Someone else says, Millie, I talk to Millie every week. I freaking love her. We always keep each other up to date. Gypsy, you didn't heart this comment. Why? Are you jealous? Are you jealous that people are giving Millie more attention than you in your own video? It's absolutely ridiculous, y'all. Ridiculous. And then someone says, my cousin Sierra Sawyer was in with you at Chillicothe, and I asked her about you when she got out, and she said she didn't talk to you much, but that you are always very positive, kind, good attitude, and Gypsy hearts it. Okay, let's hear from the inmates on what they had to say. So this is Zora, the girl that Gypsy was talking about in the video, saying she's glad that Amelia Byrd got rid of Zora because Zora is 21 years old and she's a very, very young adult, that was dating, well, I wouldn't say very, very young adult, but she's a very young adult that was dating Amelia Byrd, and then they broke up and all of that. But before they broke up, Amelia Byrd got all upset and pissed because Gypsy told Amelia Byrd, which Gypsy's not supposed to be talking to her, told Amelia Byrd that she would mention her story to Kim Kardashian when Gypsy went on the Kardashian show and talked to Kim Kardashian about prison reform, which she didn't really talk about, but whatever. And Amelia Byrd got mad about that and told Zora, look, you know her secrets, I know her secrets, we know her secrets, air her out. So Zora has let a lot of things out about Gypsy with proof, with receipts. So y'all can go and follow her or look at her page on TikTok if y'all choose to. But she does show a letter from Amelia Byrd I'm sorry, not from Amelia Byrd. Zora shows an email from Gypsy right before, the matter of fact, the night before Gypsy was released from prison, saying, I won't get to talk to Amelia Byrd until 2031. And now Gypsy's talking about she's going to be able to talk to Amelia Byrd in a couple of months. Amelia Byrd don't want to talk to you. And I'm fixing to show y'all that. And what Amelia Byrd has to say about Gypsy. But Gypsy said, I'm not going to get to talk to her until 2031. So, please let her know how much I care about her, yada, yada. And we have those messages. We can go over those in a separate video. So many of y'all know that this is Nadatha, who was in prison with Gypsy and was actually cellmates with Gypsy at one point in time. Y'all listen real quick.
Man, what contradiction do we want to start with? And what an ego you have. This just screams narcissism. I'm an advocate for prison, while I sit there and talk crap about every single woman that has a documentary or in for schmurder. Didn't you literally just say the type of advocacy work that you wanted to do was being the voice for those still in prison, while you sit there and put yourself above those women?
With a lot of the women that were on this show called I Am a K-Word on Netflix. And I remember, Kimberly Duncan, I knew her, we weren't friends or anything, but she was on my housing unit and my wing a few doors down from me. I'm going to kind of share a couple of stories with each of the women that are on the show. So, Kimberly Duncan, how should I say this? She's just one of those people that's just super negative all the time, and that's really all that I can say about her. So this is Gemma Donahue. I personally didn't know her all that well. I probably only met her maybe once. She was one of those girls that thick furs have
Kind of. I love how Donahue probably does
ranking, I guess if you want to call it that.
Girl, I know you did not just refer to ranking and clout. Donahue probably doesn't even remember me, but I remember her. And she was nothing but kind to me. She was super sweet. And if she didn't like you, there was a good reason. I love how we've turned this into some kind of mean girl movie. And this is Gypsy's burn book. Because these are women who are also on TV and she just wants to talk trash. You remember the movie Mean Girls? Which I don't know why we refer to this so much, but okay, you know the girls that wanted to be the plastics. And they start talking about what they wore that day, and because they wore that day, they wore that day. That's Gypsy. Which is why she's so sour. She did all the same mean girl stuff that everybody else did. She was just weird.
Okay, so I moved on from the Netflix show, and I actually wanted to talk about a certain case. So,
Really, Gypsy's just jealous that other inmates actually got a TV show.
This is 2020.
But y'all let us know what y'all think.
Unpause it. And I was in jail for a year with this woman named Diane Stoddy. And I got her son, her husband, and attempted to her daughter. Her oldest daughter is just simply because she was tired of being a wife and a mother, that she's super creepy and she just literally has no soul. So,
Man, but she looks hot. You reposted that, dude. You want to talk about somebody who's cold, takes no accountability, doesn't understand the weight of what they've done? That's you, boo-boo. You're describing yourself in this clip. And I love that you put yourself above all of these women, because you have the true Shmishmew story.
So this is Alyssa Bustamante. She was, I think, 14.
Nadatha's telling her, just hush. Just shut up. Just shut up at this point.
If I'm not mistaken, when she got tried as an adult at the correctional center, girlfriends in prison, very, toxic, and, that would be, their thing.
And I am skipping through because we just watched the video, so that's why I'm skipping through just to what Nadatha has to say. And then we're going to get to what Amelia has to say real quick before I end this video, y'all.
Mouth ever again about people having opinions about you and the stories we heard about you in prison.
Prison, to be honest. Other than that, I didn't really know her all that well. I knew her girlfriends better than I knew her.
I don't want to hear a dang word come out of your mouth ever again about people having opinions about you and the stories we heard about you in prison. Or people shouldn't talk about rumors. Because the vampire thing was a rumor started in Vandalia. And I'm not going to deny that Boost did some weird stuff. But girl, ain't this you?
Exactly.
What are you...
So how are you going to say that other girl was into herself and licking the red stuff when that was Gypsy?
You're talking about coming on this internet, talking about these women like that when you have absolutely no room to talk whatsoever. You got some nerve, baby. And acting like you got all hard. B, I got your B. No, you didn't, girl. Sit down. You was soft as medicated cotton, okay? She probably done ran her mouth to you and you cried and went and called the CO. Almost daring freaking T that, because that's the kind of girl you are. Talking about, she was your bully. She snitched on you. Okay. You snitched on how many people? The minute you get in trouble, that high-pitched, squeaky voice coming out. I didn't do anything, I swear. It wasn't my fault. I would have never done it if she wouldn't have. That's you, girl, in prison. You want to talk about snitching? Introducing Chillicock's biggest snitch. Crybaby. That's why you really don't know these women. Because nobody messed with you. Nobody wanted to be around you. Nobody liked you. And I just love that everybody's like, well, she wants to advocate. Nobody will let her. Nobody will. Look at what she just did just now. She took people that she don't even know, apparently, and called them a creep. Put them down. Didn't speak up for the fact that Alyssa Bustamante had a super awful childhood. Worse than what you had, Jip. Believe that. Where's her Hulu deal? Instead, we gotta watch this fake story that ain't even true. None of these women that she's talked trash on are just mean to somebody for no reason. And you know that, don't you, Jip? I think Donahue's out. Or on the verge. I'll have to look. But if she is, I hope she makes a video to you. This is sad. Definitely not the face of advocacy. Definitely not giving people a voice behind bars. And girl, just deal with it. You was a lame. And you still are.
Y'all, I love that. You're a lame and you still are. But if Alyssa Bustamante is on her way out, that would be great to see what she has to say or what kind of videos she makes about Gypsy Rose Blanchard and what she says about her from when she's in prison. Okay, y'all, I know this video has run long. I truly apologize. I didn't mean for that to happen. But watch this little clip right here. It's a few seconds long. Y'all just watch this real quick.
One other thing really fast. I'm not really sure Amelia wants you advocating for her, Jip. Anyways, I know what you mean by Gypsy making a fool of herself, and all the work she claimed to be doing is a lie. She started off talking on my behalf, but I was surprised, and then it kind of made me look bad because of everything else she's doing. When she talks about how she was all alone and had no support in prison, that's my story. And then you can pause to read the rest. But Amelia claims that a lot of her story, Gypsy stole and made it her own. At the end, your very own friend says that the things that you would say were fishy, and that you took pieces of her story and put them on your show. So again, what friend, Amelia? One other thing.
For those of you who wouldn't be able to pause that and see it and read it, here is the letter from Amelia Bird to Nadatha from literally a few days ago. Or, I'm sorry, this one is from January 26th of this year. But Nadatha talked to her a few days ago. Again. But this is from Amelia Bird to Nadatha. This is the beginning of it. And now y'all can pause it to read it. And here's the rest of the letter. So I'm just going to kind of scroll up slowly in case y'all want to pause to read the whole thing. But yeah, Amelia doesn't want anything to do with Gypsy Rose Blanchard. It's very clear. So apologies, I did not mean for that video to run so long, but what are y'all's thoughts on it? Please let us know in the comment section down below. We'll be conversating with y'all like always. And if you're not already, please make sure you subscribe, like, share, hit the notification bell so that you don't miss any of our videos, all of the things, and we would greatly appreciate it so very much. And we'll see you on the next one, and we hope y'all have a good night, and God bless. Oh, and the link to episode 8 has been posted on our community page for those of you who are interested and do want to see that episode. So we'll see y'all in the next one, and we hope y'all have a good night, and God bless. Bye.